It's 10 years rising.
10 years, a decade.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's all because of her, honestly. So Resources in Independent School Education, as you know, is a lifestyle network that's building bridges with families of color around awareness, access, application, enrollment, and beyond with excellence in education, in particular independent schools. And I could not have been able to move along with this vision for RISE without Pamela Jolly, who happens to be co-host of our annual Martha's Vineyard event, Brunch Beach, Legacy Wealth on Martha's Vineyard, that will be this year on Friday, August the 10th at the Winnetu Resort in Katama, Egertown area of the Vineyard. And really just awesome to have you come back, because I will tell you that this woman who works with large corporations, but ultimately wants to make sure that the Black community, Black businesses are creating legacy wealth. So she has a very rich conversation that's going on with us on that date. And so you need to be there, in addition to having some really good food and being in a beautiful space. We're going to hear from Pamela, and I have a couple of questions for her. So let's just start with the questions. Okay, right. So I want to ask you, because we're often talking about legacy wealth and generational wealth. How do you describe them? Sometimes I interchange those words, but you have a very definitive expression of what that means.
Sure. Well, I'm very culturally relevant. So I'm very sensitive to my target market, which is our community. And so oftentimes when you hear generational wealth, people opt out because they're saying, I'm not going to inherit anything, or I'm not going to really inherit much. And so legacy wealth is much more than generational wealth. It's really tapping into the core of not just your own personal family legacy, but our legacy, because we have such a rich history. And so wealth for too many people is just limited to money. Mm-hmm. But when you put legacy in front of wealth, you extend it across lifetimes. And so it takes 3 generations to build legacy wealth and only 1 generation to lose it. So we need to better understand our legacy perspective.
Okay. Great. So what can families expect at our discussion this year, our Brunch Beach discussion around legacy wealth?
Well, one of the things that I love about Gina is that she's so in tune with her community, and I really just color within the lines. And so what we're going to talk about is we as African Americans are at a very interesting place in time. America is at an interesting place in time, but particularly we are in light of our legacy. So we're going to look at the past, the present, and really ask ourselves, where do we go from here? So for parents that are making a very large investment in independent schools for their children, what does the future hold? Because, I am blessed to be able to work across the country and talk to us about our relationship with money and our definition of wealth. But this upcoming generation is going to have more access. However, a legacy perspective is going to help them not just stay grounded, but get focused, but also really understand the advantages that they have. And so we're going to explore that through the lens, the most important lens, which is you. And so I'll just set the context. I have a worksheet that really helps us go deep rather quickly. And then we're just going to have a dialogue, and we're going to talk about what is most important to you and your legacy and how you define wealth your way.
And I will tell you as we close that once you are in the presence of Pamela, it's really hard to pull away. There are going to be so many folks that were with us last year that will be thrilled to know, well, they already know that you're going to be with us again this year. She has an energy and a presence and a gift that is totally undeniable. So you're gonna have a great time with us at Brunch Beach, Legacy Wealth on Martha's Vineyard at the Winnetu, Friday, August 10th. Information to RSVP, the link is below. We have some special guests that will be with us, and that's going to be another lunch with Gina. We're going to spread this out all week in promotion of not only Brunch Beach, but also Sisters on the Rise the day before. We'll connect with some other folks. Thank you for inviting me to your home here in Philly. We're in Philly, y'all. Yes, we're in Philadelphia. Love this city. And thank you for all of the work that you do, Pamela. It's really, it's a blessing, the gift you have and your ability to share it in our community around what's really important, understanding our capital. And there's a lot of areas of that capital. It's just not financial. And if you can really manage all of your capital well, then that legacy wealth is pretty inevitable.
It's
right?
promised.
It's promised. All right. So thank you, Rise. And we so look forward to being on the vineyard with you. And thank you, my friend.
My pleasure.
Okay. Bye. Stop recording.